Hey, what's up you guys? Bloody Jacob here to bring another movie review, and this time we're going to be talking about Monstrous, which came out in 2020, and it's about a young woman who goes searching for answers after her friend mysteriously vanishes in Whitehall, New York, a town known for its Bigfoot sightings. She quickly learns that hiding in the woods is an evil more sinister than she could ever imagine.
Hey, what's up, you guys? Bloody Jacob here, meeting my icon, Catherine Isabel.
Hey, I'm Sylvia Saska.
And I'm Jen Saska.
And we're the Saska Sisters. Part of this. Subscribe to the little butt down there.
Bloody Jacob for sexy, awesome, exclusive content. Look.
And once again, a Google or IMDb synopsis that doesn't really do the movie justice and paints it in an even more simplistic light than it is. But yeah, we're here doing another sort of horror movie review, or should I say another Anna Shields movie review. And if you guys didn't know, before I get into it, I am going to have the immense pleasure of interviewing Anna Shields, who was, who was the writer as well as star of this movie. I just did a video talking about Dawn of the Beast, which just came out this year, the other night, so check that out, both the video and the movie itself. But yeah, we're going to be doing a discussion with her this Thursday night. I'm going to be talking about Dawn of the Beast primarily, but at this rate, we're going to be talking about Monstrous as well, for sure. She's been tremendous to interact with, and I just can't say enough about her already. I am pretty much becoming I'm very high on Anna Shields. She's a true talent. She is stunning, of course. She's quickly soaring to be one of my favorites in the genre. That's no question. I'm giddy. Okay, in many ways. So as weird as that sounded. But yeah, Monstrous was one I was very keen on checking out as well. As soon as I had heard a little bit about this movie, but as soon as I watched Dawn of the Beast, I knew I had to go through more of her movies. And Monstrous again stuck out, not just because it's another Bigfoot movie, but because there seemed to be a little bit more to it under the surface. Now I have seen some criticisms about this movie, how it's falsely advertised as a Bigfoot movie, about how there's not enough Bigfoot. It's like a not clickbait, but like it's a bait and switch. It's promoted as a Bigfoot movie to get as many viewers as it can. Of course, I don't know what the marketing strategy was. I haven't looked at any trailers or anything. But let me tell you, it does not deserve some of the reviews it has, because I thought Monstrous was actually an excellent movie. By actually, I don't mean surprisingly. I mean like really, truly good. And it annoys the shit out of me about some of those reviews. I mean, I know it's tough to look at those when you're in this sort of business. You gotta make your decision on what your perspective will be on looking at those or not. But really, some of them just seem like they didn't look into the movie at all, and that they should spoil it for themselves. But if you read the synopsis, you'll see that it's about more than just body count. Now, I really enjoyed Dawn of the Beast, which came out again even more recently, but that was definitely a more straightforward, creature feature focused film. Whereas this, you can even tell by the premise, it's the main vehicle is this woman's story, Sylvia's story, what she's looking for, what she's trying to figure out. Anna Shields' character, her damage, her her inner turmoil, really. You can even tell that by reading it, and that's the vehicle, and what they're driving through just so happens to be this possible supernatural unknown nature as to what else is out there. But that's not really the point of the movie, and you quickly see that when you start it. Okay, so I don't really... Were some of these viewers not paying attention? I don't know. So yeah, I mean, I can understand, okay, you want more, Bigfoot action, stuff like that. It's like not really what you're going to get out of this movie, although I will say that there is still some, graphic moments that I think were, fairly pleasing. But again, I could feel it was a different sort of movie right away, right off the bat. I might be, crushing a little bit, but it's also coming from a fan perspective. But Anna Shields, she was so good in this movie. One of my favorite performances I've seen on screen in a while from anyone, honestly. She really felt like a real character, a real person. Sylvia did. I like the movie has a short runtime. All these movies of hers I've been watching have short runtimes, which I have no problem with. But what's amazing is that this one especially doesn't feel rushed. It's less than an hour and a half, yet it feels like it gives the characters room to breathe. We have time to get to know them. Sylvia especially, but Alex as well, in a different way. We'll talk about her in a second. But Sylvia especially, Anna Shields. Anna, you really, really knocked it out of the park. You had me engaged. You had me invested in the character. So I commend you from a acting perspective. I think you deserve some kind of award for that. And writing-wise, seriously, bravo. You you deserve all the credit in the world for the work you did in this movie. I think it's really nicely put together. I also want to compliment the original music in this movie as well. Although, like a small critique, I feel like the music was a bit overplayed at times. But that's really seriously trying to grasp at straws. And as far as the relationship between her and Alex, the character of Alex, played by, excuse me while a page loads so I don't get the name wrong, played by Rachel Finninger, excuse me. I swear I had seen her in something before, but apparently not. But she really nailed her role as well. Like I thought, she must have been in more stuff because she really seems to know what she's doing on screen as well. I really don't want to spoil this dynamic or what plays out between the two. Basically, they meet up and they're both trying to figure out what's going on. I'll say that much, okay? Because there's some, a couple twists and turns in this movie that I don't want to spoil. Not saying if it involves them or the Bigfoot thing, but you'll have to watch it yourselves. And they had a genuine, whatever happens, they had a genuine chemistry on screen. You feel like something's off, but hey, this is actually kind of sweet at times. You kind of want, you want Sylvia to be happy. And Alex is interesting enough, whatever's going on with the character. So I really like their dynamic as well. We have Grant Schumacher, who was also just in Dawn of the Beast as well, in a pretty different role. But it was good to see him again. He probably got a little bit more. He played a bit more of a grounded character in this, whereas his character in Dawn of the Beast kind of fed a little bit more into that, versus movie, nature of it, which is fun. That was a different kind of flick. This one again is a bit more character centric. It's a bit more introspective, which I really enjoyed. I was engaged. Did not even have an urge to pick up my phone, which I always try not to do. But once in a while, there's a movie, okay, it doesn't really have your attention. This one did. I love to respect the art and the artist, and this one did that wholly. And like I said, you don't really see the Sasquatch a whole lot. Most of it is silhouettes and shadows, or kind of like glimpses. Which is probably due to, again, the shoestring budget they are having to work with. But that doesn't necessarily have to make or break a film. And I think they're actually pretty smart about how they did this, both Anna Shields, Bruce Wemple, the director, and the rest of the cast and crew. It shot really nicely, by the way. I mean, some of the scenery looks good. I'm not sure what parts were on location, what parts were filmed in a studio or something, but either way, the film looked very good. And there's definitely a suspense. There's definitely like a kind of a tense wonder you have with this Sasquatch. And by the way, the cover doesn't really look like it actually does in the movie. I'm not saying for better or worse, but that's not exactly what it looks like. So it might be a good thing, because then you still don't know what it looks like. I mean, I don't like knowing what a monster looks like until I watch the movie, so maybe it's for the best that that's not actually how he appears. But yeah, I appreciate how they utilized, like a bit of a mystery, a bit of a again, wonder of what this thing's actually like. And sometimes those eerie shots of just that silhouette, or that figure, that large looming figure, is more effective than just seeing the thing full on. So budget reasons likely, but they're still smart about it, and they utilized it well. Then sometimes better than some bigger movies do. So again, really giving you credit for that. Again, Bruce Wemple directed this, who also directed Dawn of the Beast, and he and Anna have worked on some other projects together as well, which I have to check out. But yeah, I absolutely love Monstrous. Definitely one of my favorite films in a while. I love Dawn of the Beast as well. You definitely get a different experience from this to Dawn of the Beast. They're two different squatches, if you want to say it that way. But it just depends on your mood. They're both good for what they're going for. And again, the ending, it plays out kind of the way you want it to. I don't want to say it's 100% predictable, but there were moments where I was genuinely, I was concerned. I was unsure, and I definitely felt wrenched a bit. So I'm not going to tell you, how it ended or anything. I really don't want to spoil it, because there's some, investments I'd hope you find in this as well that I wouldn't want spoiled for myself. So yeah, I mean, it's still fairly violent. They still do, like I said, do get some kills in there, and some of the injuries Sylvia and some of the other characters take, they do look fairly realistic, so decent job on the makeup as well. Yeah, so again, I love Monstrous, so I had to rate it. I'd give it at least like an A-. I'd give it like a 92%, somewhere in there. Of course, I'm not saying it's perfect movie, but I think no movie's perfect. Even I have a poster of the Thomas Jane Punisher movie on my wall, and I know that movie has flaws, but that's a great movie, and Monstrous is a great movie as well. So please do check it out. Don't pay attention to the reviews. No, that's not straightforward like monster body count creature feature, and I think you'll see its merit. So yeah, follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram especially, because I do actually post movie reviews and sometimes TV shows as well on there quite often. Full-time job, so unfortunately I do get posts on there a bit quicker than I do on YouTube most of the time. But yeah, check me out on Facebook too, but Instagram for sure, and of course subscribe here if you may. Yeah, please be ready, because again, really looking forward to that interview with Anna Shields Thursday night. And peace.